Okay, so I'm recording it now for the sake of those that are not here. Okay, like we were saying, to produce working drawing, you need to make use of annotate elements and model elements. So you need to understand the working of annotate elements and the working of model elements. First of all, let me deal with model elements. Model elements are things like window, doors, and walls. If I go to 3D now, and probably I remove this door, or this window, I remove this window, you see that if you go to the floor plan, that window is removed. If I remove a window from any floor plan, that window is removed everywhere in the drawing. Let's try and locate one window here. Okay, window, let me locate window.
What is he doing there? Tell her to come on.
Let me go to level 2. This is a sample drawing from Revit. Okay, this is this first window. Let's remove it. If I delete it, DE for delete, you see that if you go to 3D, that window is removed. If I undo now, you see that the window will come back. Can you see the window has come back? That means for any model element, whatever you do to it, it will affect other parts of the model. Let me on my camera so that you can see me. Ish. Okay. Okay. Oh. Okay, I believe you can see me now. So for any model element, whatever you do to it, it will affect it all part of the drawing. But for annotate elements, it only affects it on that particular view you are on. For instance, if I go to level 2 now, this level 2, and I delete this particular label, this room label, if I remove it, it is only removed in this particular view. It doesn't affect other view. So in other words, this room is annotate element. So that is why we make use of it to be able to produce working drawing. Or if, for instance, I draw a line, I go to, you see this is annotate tab. If I go to annotate tab now and pick a detail line, if I pick a detail line, and let me select the line I want to draw, annotate, detail line, and select the line type I want to use. Let's say I select wide line and I draw the line. Okay, now this line is here, but this line, it can only be seen in this particular view, that is this level 2. If I go to level 1, I will not see that line. Can you see that? That line is not existing here. It can only be seen on level 2. That is on that particular level that I created it. Or if I go to approach view, sorry, this 3D. Let me go to approach view. Approach view should be south. Okay, if I go to this approach view now and create a detail line, if I draw a line now, this line will only be seen on this elevation. It will not be seen anywhere else on this particular south. Or if I go to section, let me go to one of the section. Do we have section here? We have section here. We have building section. If I go there and probably create a horizontal line, let me create a horizontal line there. Okay, now I created a horizontal line, and that line is wide line. Now this line now, because it is an annotate element, if I go to 3D, I will not see the line. Can you see there is nothing like line on the 3D? So that particular line I created is an annotate element. It can only be seen on that particular view I created it. That is why we make use of that to be able to produce your working drawing. For instance, if you are on section, you create some annotate elements that can only be visible on that section. It will not affect your 3D drawing. For instance, if I want to, let me create a new section of my own. Let me go to level 2 and I pick a section line, and I will create it here. Okay, this is the one I created now, and I right click on it, go to view. Okay, this is the one I created. Let me rename it as my own. Let me give it a name. Okay, this is a section. I can rename it and rename it as section T-T. Okay, that is the one I created, and you can see that if I want to hide this wall and I don't want to delete it, if I want to hide it, I simply select it and hide it. It is hidden in this view, but if you go to other view, it will be seen. Alternatively, if I want to hide it, I can also use region to hide it, to cover it, so that I did not delete it, but it is not seen. So I use field region, and I am going to, I'll pick a field region already. Then I work on the type of field region I want to use. Let me click on edit type, so that I know the type I'm using. So the foreground filling pattern, I am going to select, click on this space and select the, we'll use solid black to do that. I'll use solid black. Let me look for solid. Okay, this is solid black, and click OK. Then the color, I'll use white and duplicate it as, let's say I give it a name, name it as test fill. You can give it the name you give it doesn't matter. Okay, and click apply, click OK. Then I will pick a line, and the line that I want to use now will be line that will also not be visible. So I pick an invisible line. See, this is invisible line, and I just draw a rectangle. I draw a rectangle here. Now if I finish it now, you see now that that door is no longer seen. Can you see? We can't see that door again. But if you go to 3D, that door is there. So we can use this principle to hide a lot of things on our section. We can hide a lot of things on our elevation. If you can use this field region, can you see? There is a field region here. It has hidden this wall, this door. So if we go to your floor plan, the door is there. But if you come to this section, you cannot see the door. Then if I want to draw a line to create section now, I will not make use of this model line. If you go to architecture, you see model line, you see model line. This particular line is a model line, and that shows you that this model line can be seen on 3D. But if you want to produce a line that will not be seen in 3D, you go to Annotate tab. It is only that particular line that will not be seen on 3D. Any line you pick from Annotate tab will not be seen in 3D. So if I go to detail line and let me pick just another type of line. I don't want to use wide line again. I've used wide line before. Let me pick another line now. Let me just pick just line, and perhaps I want to draw roof trusses now. My system is doing a lot of things, that's why it's slowing down. It's trying to record the screen and also attending the meeting, and is also using Revit at the same time. So there are so many tasks is working on. Okay, now I can draw my roof trusses here like we normally do in AutoCAD. I can draw my roof trusses, and I can use offsets. In my previous training I showed you how we can use offsets, so I'm not going to do much on that now. I can offset here like we normally do in AutoCAD. Okay, then if I like, I can copy this. I'm not going to do very detailed drawing, just to give you an idea of how the working drawing work in Revit. So I select this and copy this. Okay, then I can create similar line, and I can pick line, pick what is here. Okay, let me try and can we hide this line? We can hide this line from being seen. We don't want to see this wall. We want to hide this second line. To be able to do that, you can use line work. Okay, this is line work here. If I pick line work now and I click on this place, I make it invisible. So if any line on any model line I click now will be rendered invisible. Can you see that? As I'm clicking on it, is rendering it invisible. You see, this second line is no longer visible. Can you see? It's no longer visible. These are some of the tools we use in working drawing. So now that this line is no longer visible, I can draw anything I want to draw here now. Okay, this second one is visible, so let me make it invisible. Okay, that one is rendered invisible now. If I want to turn this line to something else, this is a model line from roof. If I want to turn it to something else, I can use this line work to do that. For instance, I want to turn it to a thin line, so I just pick that line work and look for thin line. Let's look for thin line. Okay, this is thin line, and I click on this. You can see I've rendered it to a thin line. I can change it to any line I want. Okay, then I can adjust the thickness of this place, and I select this particular one, make it like 50 mm, and click that. Then I pick another line and create similar. There are so many things you can do here. I pick, set the offset to be like 50. Okay, 50, and I pick this particular one. Okay, I can extend this second line to meet this place. Alright, then I can extend this like we normally do in AutoCAD. Let me extend this to here. Alright, then I can make this one to be a rafter. Let me use offset now. I will set it by 150. I want to create a rafter from there. Alright, I can delete this other line. Okay, and let me be sure that I've not deleted something from our 3D. Okay, nothing has been deleted. So I go back to my section, and all this line we are creating is not indicated in our 3D. It's only indicated on that particular section we were working on. Can you see how the annotate element work now? If you go to the floor plan, that all this line we are drawing is not there. It's only there on this particular section. So you can do anything you want to do on this section, and it will not affect your plan. Okay, all this line I'm drawing now is not affecting any other drawing. It's affecting only this particular section. The reason is I am using annotate element. So understanding the working of annotate element is very important if you want to use Revit to produce working drawing. You need to understand what is annotate element. So I can make this one to be 150. That is our rafter. Let me make it 150. My system is slow because it's dealing with a lot of things at the same time. It's attending the meeting and is also recording the screen, and is also using Revit. So many tasks. Alright, so I can clean this place up using extend. I can clean this place up using extend. I can clean this place up. Okay, now I can draw my roof trusses if I want to, using create similar. I draw this one here. all this line I'm drawing now are Annotate elements, and that means it can only be seen on this particular view. And I use offset to offset this line by 150. Okay, 150 is already typed here, and this one is shaded, so I extend that, and if I like, I can clean this place up. And this small thing here, I can delete it by using extend to clean it. Okay, now you can see that our roof trusses are coming out. I can create similar. I use line, and the line I'm using is Annotate line. It's not any detail line you use is Annotate line. Okay, so I can use offset here to offset that particular line. Offset it by 150, and here you go. I can trim this place. Click here. I believe if you have been watching my video, you know how to trim. So all I want to teach you today is how to use Revit to do your working drawing. Okay, now you see that our roof trusses is already coming out. If we have done all this side, we can simply highlight them. We can highlight them, can select them, and we can select all this one we have done here. And to make sure that what we have selected is not a model element, we can go to our filter and filter out those things that are model element, like wall. So we'll not select wall, we'll not select window, we'll not select site. Okay, so the only things we have selected now is lines, and of course you already know that this particular line we are using is a model element. So we click OK, and now I can click on mirror. Please, if you are disturbing us, I'm going to mute you. Let me try and mute yourself so that you don't disturb us and you don't distract us, because distracting me to go and mute you now is another delay for us. Okay, so you can see that I need to mirror it and copy. I need to mirror and copy. Let me select copy. Let me be sure that it's copied, so I can simply mirror that one to the other side. Can you see that we're already having our roof trusses? So there are so many things you can do here. You can, these ones that are off, you can use your trim to clean them up. You can clean them up like that. You can clean them up. Let's clean them up. Okay, so you can see that our roof trusses is there. This line you are seeing are green. If you go to our 3D, you will not see those lines. Perfect. So we have our working drawing without showing any line. I think it's a good thing. And if you go to your section is there. Okay, so if you want to draw your, let's say you want to show that there is a hardcore, there is oversight concrete here. There is oversight concrete here. In that case, the kind of tool you use here is you use field region. So I go to Annotate and I pick field region, pick this particular one. Okay, now you go to edit type and you duplicate this, name it as concrete. I always name it, any name you give it doesn't matter, but not the name you are giving it. I always like to give it concrete, and click OK. Then the type of foreground, that is the fill pattern. The fill pattern I normally use, I use a fill pattern that is called concrete. Okay, this is it here. You can see concrete. In Revit 2023 we have two types of them, but in Revit 2017 we only have one type. So that is an advantage for those that are using Revit 2023. Okay, so I click OK, and the color is black. Or let's make the color black so that it can be seen. If you make the color white, it will not be seen. So let's now make it white and click OK. Click OK again. Now the line we'll be using now will be a line that will be thick. So we'll not be using invisible. If you use invisible line, it will not be seen. So let's look for line that is thick, because this is showing that it's cut. Okay, so I pick this one to draw it. I'm going to draw a rectangle, a very long rectangle, and I can even specify the thickness of the slab. Okay, I can make it anything, but I need to specify the depth. So I pick my line to specify. Sorry, my system is a little bit slow because it's doing a lot of tasks. Okay, I make it 150 mm. I make it 150 mm and I press enter. Okay, so that is a concrete, oversight concrete, and I click finish. Okay, now if you see now, this is, we use a few region to create this concrete slab. If you go to 3D, it's not there. It's only there in this particular section. Okay, so if I want to create a hardcore to show that there is a hardcore here, I simply select this particular one. I can create similar. Then I go to edit type and duplicate it and give it a name, a different name. Here I will call it hardcore and click OK. And the type of fill pattern I'll be using, I'll no longer be using concrete. I'll use something that look like our hardcore. Let me look for something that look like hardcore. Something that look like hardcore, that look like stone. This is the one I normally use. This is the diagonal cross hash, and click OK. Then the color is black, which is a good one, and click OK. Now I can draw a rectangle here, a very long. Okay, the line I normally use, I don't normally use wide line. I always use medium line. So let's use I'll pick medium line. Okay, and I create a rectangle. Some people are still joining us and some people are leaving. It's okay. Okay, that is my hardcore. I finish it. Then if I want to create a symbol for earth filling, I create similar, select that particular one I've created before, and I go to edit type and I duplicate it, name it as earth. Okay, then the type of fill pattern I will use, I'm not going to use the one I use for hardcore. I'm going to use something that will make it look like earth filling. Let's look for something that look like earth filling. Let's check through our pattern. We must get something. Okay, this one would have been very nice for hardcore. We can change it. Okay, this particular one is this earth is the one I use for earth. So I click on that and click apply. The color is black and it's okay. Then I draw, and the type of line I'm using is medium line. So I pick a rectangle and draw that one. The size doesn't matter here. Just use your eye to gauge, and here we go. Okay, you can see we have our earth filling here, we have our hardcore here. So I can select this particular one and change the type of filling. Let's make it to look like stones. I click on this place and look for stone, that particular stone that we saw. Okay, you can see it here, and click OK. Click OK again, and it's looking like a stone now. Can you see that? This is beautiful. Okay, now I can use the same field region to create my foundation footings, and that means I am just creating lines without tampering with my walls. All this thing I'm doing here, I'm not tampering with any wall. I'm just using lines and the field region to create some things that I want to use to denote my models, my structural elements. So I'm going to pick detail field region again, and I pick field region, I pick rectangle, and let me rename this one as foundation footing. I will duplicate and call it foundation. Okay, the type of field pattern I want to use, let me pick the one I want to use. Okay, this one will be very good for that foundation, and the color is black. Okay, let's leave it as black, and I pick a rectangle. The type of line I want to use is wide line. Okay, so I go here and draw my rectangle, maybe a little bit bigger than this. I can be sure of the width. If you want to ascertain the width, you can add your dimension. Okay, this is what Revit use. Now this drawing we are doing is from Revit software sample drawings. Okay, now here I can break this one. If I want to have my zigzag line, I can break it. Let me break it using split. I cut here and cut here and remove the center. Then let me make my line a little bit thin, so that I can see what I'm drawing. Okay, now you can see I've opened this place up to allow me to do my zigzag, to show continuation, that foundation is not the end. Okay, then I pick another line. The type of line I'll pick here will be something that is thin. I can use a thin line to do that, to do my zigzag, and I make sure it snap the where the other one stop. Sorry, I need to clear my throat. Okay, now you have my zigzag there, and you make sure that here is loop. Don't allow any gap, and don't allow it to extend beyond this line. Make sure it's completely loop, otherwise it will not work. So I can finish it now. Okay, let's save our work. Okay, let's save it into our document and save it. It's saving. The system is a little bit slow. It's slow beyond my liking. It's because of so many tasks. Please bear with me. I'm trying to record so that other people that are not here now can benefit from it. Okay, so I can copy it. I can copy this foundation footing and simply reproduce it on the other side without creating a new one. Alright, that is that. So we have our foundation, we have our oversight concrete, our hardcore, our earth filling, and all of that. If I want to write the space of this place now, you can see what is already here is room. So for me to write this one become very easy. I simply go to Annotate tab and click Tag All and select Room Tag and click Apply. Click OK, and you can see that the room automatically came because the room was tagged before. You can see I didn't even need to type anything. I simply use room tag, and that was what brought this master bedroom. You can see kitchen also came along with it, and if you go to the floor plan, it is that kitchen that will be there. Let's go to our level 2. You can see this is where our section is cutting through. That is the master bedroom. And if you go to level 1, I believe it's kitchen that you will see there. Let's go to our level 1. Sorry, my system is slow because of so many tasks. Okay, you can see where we cut our section through. This is kitchen, and it is that kitchen that is indicated there. So I believe we cannot finish the lecture today. There are so many things you need to know in working drawing, but at least you would have known how to create section in Revit now, so that next time you want to create your section, you don't need to be thinking of how you can go to AutoCAD. You don't need to go to AutoCAD. You can create your section in Revit. If you want to change the color of the line, you can change the color. If you want to hide anything, you can hide anything. If I don't want to see all this one, I simply use my hide EH to hide them, or VH to hide the category. VH, I will hide that all those category. If I don't want to see all this grid, all I need to do is to use VH, and it will hide all the grid lines. If I want to bring them back, I go to my toggle hide element and select one of them and unhide the categories, and boom, they are back. Okay, so that is how you can create your working drawing in Revit. There are so many things we can do here. We can produce our door and window schedule here. We can do our detail working drawing, detail plan. We can even create our roof if details here, all using working draw, all this using this principle I've just taught you now. So I believe you have benefited from this little training we have done. I believe you would have benefited something from it. Okay. Let me explain to you my Revit tutorial masterclass. Now I created this course which I titled Revit tutorial masterclass, and this training is going to guide you step by step how you can use Revit to model buildings and to produce working drawing, complete working drawing. And my expectation for you is that at the end of my course, that is the end of Revit and Lumion, you should be able to produce something like this. This is actually a video. This is a video is supposed to play, but maybe it's because the system is handling so many tasks, the video player is not coming up now. I actually use Revit to model this. Even the first one, I use Revit to model this and use Lumion to render it. And you too can do the same thing. If you can stay with me till the end of my course. This is one of my students that produced this. His name is Samuel. He used Revit to model this and used Lumion to render this. I believe you like it. Okay, this is his interior design. He used Revit to model this and used Lumion to render this. So I believe you too can achieve this same result. Now, who is this training for? This training is for architects who want to learn how to model buildings for their clients, so that their clients can have an aesthetic overview of their project before construction. And this training is also for interior designers. If you are an interior designer, then this training is for you, so that you can, as you are designing, you see the aesthetic view, you see the 3D, and you know what you are doing. You remove some things and add some things. And this training is also for civil engineers who want to learn how to model. Okay, and it's also for builders. It is for students of architecture in various schools. Okay, it is also for architectural firms who want to upgrade their staff so that their staff can be more proficient in the use of Revit and renderings. And it is also for you if you are looking for any software that can produce 3D and working drawing all in one place. Revit is not like SketchUp that you only produce your working drawing. You only produce your 3D view, but when you want to produce working drawing, you have to go to AutoCAD. Revit do everything, working drawing, 3D, everything in one place. So if you are looking for that kind of software, then this training is for you. You can use Revit to produce detailed working drawing. Can you see this? This is a roof eave detail. I use Revit to produce this. The same process I've taught you now, the same procedure I've taught you now, is what I use to create this. So you too can create this too. So if that is the kind of software you are looking for, then ensure that you stay with me till the end of this video. I'm going to be showing you how you can learn and master the use of Revit to produce 3D modeling and working drawing. And I'm also going to show you how you can save money, the money you would have spent on transportation or on accommodation for you to go and learn Revit. You don't need to transport to any country to go and learn Revit, or to transport to any state to go and learn Revit. You can learn Revit from the comfort of your home or your office. I'm going to show you how you can achieve all that. Then I will show you how you can install Revit software on your own system. Free. You are not paying for the software. You get it for free. Okay, you get my own copy of Revit for free. Then you are also going to learn how you can download my own custom Revit family, my Revit family library. All the library have been created for some times now. I will show you how you can download it and start using it right away. And that means there are some things you don't need to bother yourself. How am I going to create a window? How am I going to create doors? You can start using my own. Then when you master it, you can then start creating your own. Then I will also show you how you can start using V-Ray to produce your rendering in Revit. I will show you how you can install Acrobat X Pro completely free. Now this is one of my 3D. My screen is not showing. Are you seeing my screen? My screen is not showing properly. Okay, you might see it in the video. Okay, so let's not bother ourselves on that now. Okay, so this is one of my rendering. I use Revit to model this and use Lumion to render it. This is one of my 3D. I use Revit to model it. The same principle I'm teaching you is the same principle I'm using to model this, and I use Lumion to render this. The reason I use Lumion is that Lumion has a more quality rendering than that of Revit. Okay, this is one of my model too. I use Revit to model it and use Lumion. This is one of my students that modeled this. He used Revit and used Lumion to render it. This is his interior design. Very beautiful, very aesthetic interior design. Now my promise for you, my big promise for you, is that you too can achieve the same result, even better, if you can stay with me till the end of my course. I say end of my course because this one training is not enough for you to be a master. You need to learn and learn and learn again. Okay, but let me ask you this question. Would you like to acquire a skill that can help you get a job that can pay you up to 250,000 naira per month? Would you like to acquire a skill that can help you get a contract that can pay you up to 1 million to 10 million profit? Excuse me, give me one minute. All right, I'm back. Okay, now would you like to acquire a skill that can help you stop this kind of clause, "I will get back to you," from clients or employers? When a client tells you that "I will get back to you," that phrase means so many things. One, it could be that he doesn't like your work, and the polite way of telling you that "I don't like your work, I am going to give this job to another person," is to tell you that "I will get back to you." when he gives you that phrase, he says he gives you a soft landing that you will not feel it much, but it's very painful when he say I will get back to you and he never call you again. The reason could be that he doesn't like your work. So if you must be able to make client to like your work, then you have to improve your skills. Would you like to be a successful freelancer? You all know what is freelancing. Would you like to be the one that is in charge? You are in charge, you are a professional that you charge your fees without looking back, and you are not at the mercy of any clients who will dictate the amount they are going to give to you or they are going to pay you. You are in charge. You charge the amount you want to take for your professional work. For you to do that, then you need to upgrade your skill. Would you like to be a professional that will work for royalties and people that matters in the society? Would you like to move from the bottom of the ladder to the top where there are no much competitor? Then ensure that you stay with me to the end. Would you like to be an expensive professional that will charge high price, like you can charge 1 million naira for a single project and the client will be ready to pay you? Do you still want to be carrying files up and down and looking for employment instead of employers to call you and you can be in your place and dictate your price? Now this is me. The knowledge of Revit has taken me to so many places which I did not expect that I will get there. The knowledge of Revit has given me so many jobs, so many sites, and that can also be your own story too. Now, if you want to learn Revit, you need the following. You need a computer and preferably a laptop, but if it is a desktop it's still okay, but preferably a laptop. And the minimum RAM that you can use is 4 gig RAM, because if the RAM is not enough, the system will slow and you may not enjoy it. Okay, then you need at least a minimum of 300 gigabyte hard disk. The higher the better. And Revit must be installed on your computer. When we started this lesson, one of the attendees asked a question how to install Revit. Now here, Revit must be installed on your computer if you must learn Revit. Then you must know how to operate your computer. I am not going to teach you how you can operate your computer. At least you must know how to type some things on the keyboard. You must know how to handle your mouse. You must know how to boot your computer. Just basic knowledge of computer is okay for you. Then you must have internet connection so that you can get some things from online. It's very, very important. And you must understand English language, because we use basic English language to communicate in this training. So you must understand at least a little bit of English language. And you must also understand basic knowledge of architectural designs and planning. For instance, you are expected to know that the width of a wall is 225 and another wall is 150 and there are several places we use those kind of wall. You must understand the cross ventilation and all those architectural planning stuff. So when you have a basic knowledge of architecture, it's just a question of bringing them into Revit. Then if you can stay with me to the end of this training, I will show you in my course how you can stop the problem of Revit family not loaded. It's a big problem when you have Revit already installed in your computer, but when you want to use window or you want to use wall, Revit will give you an error message that the family you are trying to use is not loaded in your computer. So I will show you how you can resolve all that. I will also show you how you can download my own custom Revit family folder and you can load it into your own computer. Okay, this is one of my students, Abu Yakubu. He said, "Thank you for making huge impact in sharpening professionals. Though my job demands has kept me watching your various tutorial videos, I am greatly inspired and proud of you, sir. God bless you." Okay, this is another student of mine. He said, "Thanks." Say, "God bless you, sir." You can see many of my students are very happy. They are enjoying the course. This is another student of mine, Alfred. He said, "Hello, boss. God bless you for all your effort towards the training. Through your teaching, I have learned a lot, even outside Revit and Lumion. Thanks a lot. Sir, I pray that God will bless all your students and touch their heart to show appreciation for your efforts. You are a good teacher." Okay, these are what my students are saying. This is one of my students that produced this, and this is another student of mine that produced this. Now at this point you have a choice to make. You have a choice as to whether you want me to be your tutor in Revit, or you want to proceed and be what you have been. You want to proceed with what you have been doing. You have a choice to make as regard that. But how would it be if I can work with you and basically download what I have ever learned in Revit, download it for you, and you can simply reproduce my own method of using it? How would it be like? How would it be like if you can just ask me any question anytime, any day, and I will respond to you, where I will get to teach you everything I've ever learned about Revit from scratch till the end until you become expert in the use of Revit? How about if my phone number is open to you, that you can call at any time, and all my contact details are open for you, so that if you run into any issue, you can always contact me and I will fix it for you. Now permit me to introduce Revit Tutorial Masterclass. I call this course Revit Tutorial Masterclass. And these are what you are going to get in this course. There are over 86 video tutorials, and they are divided into module 1 to module 4. And those videos are step-by-step training, like I have just done today. They are step-by-step, very detailed videos, and more than 86 of them, and we are still adding more. Those videos, for you to have access to them, you can download them, is worth 100,000 naira. And you also be given access to our WhatsApp group and Telegram community. These are community of architects and engineers, and you get to learn what they are learning. When they are asking questions and I'm responding to it, you will benefit from it. For you to gain access to those groups is worth 50,000 naira. And it doesn't stop there. I am going to mentor you. My contact will be open to you. You can contact me anytime, any day. When you run into problem when you are using Revit, I am going to answer you. For my contact to be open to you, is worth 100,000 naira. A lot of people will say, why will I buy this course when I can always get videos on Revit on YouTube? Yes, you can get videos on Revit on YouTube, but then if you have a problem, for you to get solution to some problem, you have to watch several videos. Some videos appear to answer your question, but they will not. They will be beating about the bush. You end spending days before you can get a solution to one problem. So to avoid this, if you want to work faster, I think if my contacts are open to you, it is better, though it's your choice anyway. So the total value you get in this course is worth 250,000 naira. And what do you think I can charge for this kind of value that I'm providing? So much value. And currently I am not even charging anything close to 200,000 naira, not even 100,000 naira, and I am not even charging 50,000 naira. The current price I am giving it away is just 30,000 naira only. And Valentine has just ended. Valentine started from 14th of this month, and currently I am giving away Valentine gifts to some people that choose to accept it. So because of this Valentine, I am giving it away at 20,000 naira only. And this is how it's going to happen. For the first 20 people that will get this course, starting from 14th of February till the number complete 20, those people are going to get it at 20,000 naira only, and they are going to pocket the remaining 10,000 naira. This is my own Valentine gift for you. So if you are picking it up before the number completes 20, some people have already enrolled, some slots are no more available. It's not the slot that are remaining is no longer up to 20. So the faster the better for you. And when that number complete 20, the price is going to go back to the regular price of 30,000 naira. Now these are some of the questions that some people ask. Some people ask, what is the course syllabus? What are you going to train in the course? What am I going to learn in this course? And the answer I normally give them is, you are going to understand Revit user interface. You are going to understand how to prepare your drawing environment using existing project as template. You are going to understand how to start a new Revit environment from scratch. You understand how to customize Revit shortcut and hotkeys. You understand advanced Revit modeling techniques. And you are going to understand how to attach wall to roof. You understand how to convert Revit drawing to PDF and send to your client. You are going to understand how to model a building with Revit architecture step by step. You understand how to create concrete fascia using sweep. You understand how to move things around in Revit. You understand how to use annotate elements as basis for working drawing. Okay, then you also understand how to edit and customize grid bubbles and section head, etc. You understand how to create title block. You understand how to place drawing on title block. You understand how to import drawing from AutoCAD to Revit. You understand how to export drawing from Revit to AutoCAD to 3ds Max and to Lumion. And you also understand how to render your 3D view in Revit. Okay, Then you understand how to use Revit tools. You understand how to reload Revit families. If your Revit family is not loaded well, you can reload it. You learn how to reload it. You learn how to create door and window schedule. You learn how to use V-Ray for Revit. You learn Revit massing and so many more. The space will not be enough for me to list everything you are going to learn in this course. Okay. Now the second question that some other people ask me is, what is your course duration? What is the duration of learning? And the answer I normally give them is, the duration of learning depends on your own devotion to learning, because this is a video training. You download the video to your own computer and learn at your own leisure time. So if you devote much time to it, it means that you are going to master it faster. For instance, if you devote enough time for it, you can master it within 2 weeks. But if you do not devote time for it, then it could take you up to a month or even 2 months before you can master it. So the duration of how you are going to master it totally depend on you. And the video are available. They are always available on my website. So as long as my website is active, you always have access to those videos and download them. And since I'm paying for my website, that means it may not be forever. As long as I'm paying for my website to be live, it means you have access to it. And my website will be live at least for a period of 1 year. So at least for a period of 1 year, you would have downloaded all those videos and start learning them. Okay. Now the third question that some of my class also ask is, how is the class run? And the answer I give them is, the class is run on downloadable videos. You download the videos and you learn from the videos. And if there are issues that are too difficult for the video to handle, then once in a while we organize Zoom meetings and online meetings like I'm having with you now, and resolve those issues, okay, to clear every dark areas that is too difficult to understand, all right, through videos. Some people normally ask, I don't know how to learn through videos. It is very, very easy. Okay, I will show you how you can learn using video. It is cheaper and more convenient. Okay. Then another question that some of my students ask is, where is your location? Do you have a physical class? Some people prefer to have a one-on-one class with me, and the answer I normally give them is, yes, I have a physical class, but the price is not flat rate. The price totally depend on the number of people that are picking the physical class per time. For instance, if I have 2 persons that are attending the physical class, the price will be more than if I have 10 people that are attending the physical class. So if you are on this call now and you prefer physical class, then contact me after this training so that I know the number of people that are interested in physical class and know the price I can give you. All right, so the price depends on the number of people that are attending the class. If it is only you, it's going to cost you more, and if there are many, the price will be less. All right, now it doesn't stop there. If you are getting this course today, I will be giving you Revit software for free. And this Revit software, if you want to buy it, the cost of Revit software is $2,675 just per year, 1 year. But if you are getting this course today, you are getting Revit software for free. I'm going to give you my own copy of Revit for free, okay? And I'm going to show you how you can install it. You don't need any technician. to help you install it. The value of Revit alone is worth 200,000 naira. Go and browse it on the internet and know how much Revit is sold. Okay, but if you are getting it today, you are getting it for free from me. And the second bonus is, if you are getting it today, you are getting Acrobat X Pro. You are getting the software and you are getting how to install it. Now if you go and browse on the net how much Acrobat X Pro costs, is worth 403,500 naira. But if you are getting this course today, you are getting it for free from me. Okay, now the use of Acrobat X Pro is, you can use it to combine PDF files that are separate. You can combine them to be one document, and you can also use it to convert your Revit drawing to PDF so that you can send to your clients, because your client may not have Revit on his system, so you need to convert it to a format that he can read it. That is what Acrobat X Pro can do for you. And you're also going to gain access to my project. This particular project I'm showing on my screen now, you have access to download it and learn from it. You can also modify it and send it to your client. I don't normally give access to my project, but if you are gaining access to this course today, I don't mind. I'm going to give you for free, and it's worth 100,000 naira. But if you are gaining access today, you are not paying a dime for this project I'm going to give to you. All right, then my bonus does not stop there. I am going to give you my own custom Revit families. That means if you are starting today, you don't need to think, am I going to model windows and doors and all of that, I am not yet good. No, you don't need to think of all that. You are going to download my own and start using my own until you master how to model it. So the worth of these Revit families I'm going to give to you is worth 30,000 naira. So everything you get in bonus, all the bonuses I pack, I'm giving to you, is worth 734,000 naira. And of course, I've shown you before that my course is worth 250,000 naira. So if my course worth 250,000 naira and my bonus is worth 734,000 naira, so if you are gaining access today, what is the total value are you getting today? You are getting a total value of 984,000 naira, and I'm only selling it at 20,000 naira. So you can look at this course as this in form of free. It's free. It's almost free. You are getting something of 984,000 naira, and you are paying only 20,000 naira for today. Now some people will still say that it's too expensive. Some people say, this 20,000 naira is too expensive, or this 30,000 naira is too expensive. But let me ask you a question. How much will it cost you if you lose a job due to not being proficient in Revit architecture? For instance, you attend an interview and your employer to be tells you that I will get back to you, and he never get back to you. A job that would have paid you 100,000 naira per month, you lose it because you are not good at Revit. Now that 100,000 naira times 12 months, that is 1.2 million naira per year. You lose 1.2 million naira per year because of not being proficient in Revit architecture. This is something that would have been solved with only 20,000 naira. But some people will not think like this. They will say, it's too expensive. 20,000 naira is too expensive. Well, it is your choice anyway. Now for business owners, let's assume you are an architectural firm and you tender your quotation for a job, and you lose the job because your client does not like your job, your job, your work. This is the job that would have paid you up to 1 million naira profit, but you lose it because you are not proficient in the use of Revit. You lost 1 million or 20 million because you are not proficient. This is something that would have been solved with only 20,000 naira, but some people will still not think like that. Now the minimum I charge for this course is 30,000 naira, and that is about $65. And as a way of giving away for Valentine, I am giving it away at 20,000 naira only, and that is 43.7 US dollar. So if you are getting it today, before the number reaches 20, the first 20 that are getting it at this amount only. And when the number of 20, the number of persons that have grabbed this Valentine gift have reached 20, I am going to close this price and take it to 30,000 naira. Okay, and that is the regular price. And even that price, that 30,000 naira, is not going to be forever. It will be going up like that. Very soon it will move to 50,000 naira, then to move to 100,000 naira, and that is how it will be going. The first set of people that got this course did not get it at 30,000 naira or 20,000 naira. They got it lower, but now the price is no longer there. We are moving up. All right, so the earlier you get it, the better for you. Now if you're on this call and you want to get it, my account detail is displayed below, and if you are not seeing it, you can ask for it. I will send it to you, and you are going to gain access to all the bonuses I have explained before. All right, thank you for being part of this training, and this is where we are going to round up for today. Thank you for being there. If you are not here, I will not be here. I really appreciate you for coming. I really appreciate you. So now I want to attend to some questions. Let me attend to some questions.